Welcome to the podcast. I'm your host, Mae.
I'm Max.
And I'm Ben, and we were had.
Can you believe it?
There are twists and there are turns.
Defleshed is a standard down.
Oh, that's fun.
We were had.
We were.
This podcast brought to you by Bunny Coffee.
Yeah, it is.
Bunny Coffee. Always only 100% single origin coffees, no BS blends.
From Oaxaca. Are you impressed that I knew how to
how you
pronounce that?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's impressive.
The ad read told us exactly how to pronounce it, but thank you.
There was a transliteration
There was.
in the ad read.
We Were Had listeners get 10% off with the code bunnycoffee.com/WWH10.
Wow, and experience high elevation premium Oaxacan coffee at its best.
Oaxaca.
Oaxacan coffee at its best.
We've got here single origin Sierra Norte, which is just one of the many options.
Yes. And you know what? Their current featured coffee producer, Enrique Lopez. You know him.
Oh, everybody knows him.
He's of Finca Chalin, the farm. You know this one. It's known for its innovative natural processes and its cocaine mill in the back.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, something to think about.
Something to think about.
Support local business. Support We Were Had. Buy a box of coffee.
Yes, which I have now turned away from the camera. So there you go.
bunnycoffee.com/WWH10. Thank you.
Two takes to
Takes
introduce
two
the
takes.
fucking podcast.
Some of the greatest actors take multiple takes.
They call him Two-Take Kirschenbaum.
You are your best take.
Let me tell you something.
That's true.
There's a baby formula shortage, an actual food shortage, but here we are recording our little podcast. Don't worry, guys.
We've recorded. We started this during a pandemic.
That's true.
And through a war?
This is actually a PSA.
What was that?
If
What
the
the hell
baby
was that?
We live on.
No, none of us have babies.
Okay, the next bit was going to be if the babies really need something to eat, take a suckle out of these.
For those of you not watching on YouTube, you are missing out.
May brought 2 extra co-hosts to today's pod.
And there's nothing I can do about it. This is as far up as it zips.
She's busting out of her Daisy Duke romper, let me tell you
I'm
that.
also looking large and in charge today.
You look
I
great.
don't know what
Stop it.
Never wearing this dress again for multitude of reasons. So, anyway.
What do you got for us today, Benjamin?
Today we're talking sports. We're talking sports-related mysteries.
And I want you guys to know right before this, he's been cosplaying all day as a big sports guy. He was
Today is
Exhausting.
He was walking the hockey game. He really cares about it. Oh, it's a Rangers game.
I know that all of our fans are big sports fans as well. That Venn diagram is a circle. Today's game 3 of the Rangers Hurricanes. Don't give away
You're
what
like
happens.
match.
Yeah.
You don't even know the terminology.
So
Today's contest.
today's
Rangers v. What was it? Pelicans?
an altercation.
The altercation.
It's an aggressive sport.
Remember in the Sex and the City reboot and they called it a comedy concert?
I didn't watch that.
Oh,
I missed that program.
Oh, well, continue missing it because it was bad.
I will not see it. Speaking of bad, go ahead, do your thing, Ben.
Yikes. Jesus, between that and the baby formula, someone is thinking about larger issues. Okay.
My head's really being bogged down. Sorry, I care about the world. I'm a global citizen. I have the.
Oh
You have
my gosh.
he's pointing, for those of you who don't know, to a world tattoo
that
on
he
his
found
arm.
on Pinterest.
Yeah.
Famously.
Yeah, actually, no, this was Tumblr.
Oh
so
my
this
God.
one was Tumblr.
Okay, continue with your sports.
Thank you. So we're going to go over 3 sports mysteries, and the one I want to start with is the Battle of the Sexes tennis match in 1973 between Bobby Riggs and Billie Jean King.
Damn, we're just going for it. Number 1.
I think it's the most meat on the bone. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for
Well,
that.
they
All
made
right.
a feature film starring Steve Carell and Emma Stone.
Why did you make that like a reveal?
I couldn't remember. I was trying to remember both of their names.
The other
Also-
thing that excited me about doing this is that you have a famous bit. Well, not really a bit,
Yeah, I
a
have a
one-liner.
world famous one-liner bit. I actually meant to wear my glasses today because I have the same glasses as Billie Jean King, and with them on, we look like identical twins.
That's good.
That's the old joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she a
And-
good-looking woman? I'm not so sure.
A handsome
Okay,
woman.
I guess that's a veiled compliment or a veiled
She looks
insult
like,
at me.
She looks
Sorry.
like when Caitlyn Jenner was formerly known as Bruce Jenner.
Interesting.
Is that how you're supposed to say that? I don't know.
That's the
I'm
battle
gonna
of
get
the
yelled at
sexes.
no matter what. Yeah. So nervous. I'm tiptoeing around.
Yeah, okay, so I should say right up front. So the Battle of the Sexes, so I'm going to read through parts of an article called The Matchmaker by Don Van Natta Jr.
I'm crossing my legs.
I just look over, she's shoulder barging me.
My dress is very tight. It's hard to cross my legs. Okay, continue.
Let me tell you something. This whole topic, this film, it's obsolete. Sex and gender aren't real. It's a myth. So,
No.
Battle of the Sexes, miss me with that. It's not
Okay.
real.
Well, we're going to do it anyway, Mr. Baby Formula. I can't get over it. I can't get over
are you
that
so
opening.
upset about that?
I don't know. I know it was just a setup for a further joke, but
I wanted to
Some
talk about
setups are-
Mae's titties. God forbid. I was a roundabout way to get
we had
there.
to address them.
I had to address
think.
it.
Okay.
So on Thursday night, September... Oh, the only reason why I mentioned the article itself is that it was ESPN. So what we're talking about here is not some... that's kind of the authority on sports. Or it's a legit thing. So
Yeah.
this is not some outlandish, one of your topics.
The big gray man of Scotland is on the tip of everyone's tongue.
On Thursday night, September 20th, 1973, 50 million Americans, fatigued by Vietnam and Watergate, tuned in to see whether a woman could defeat a man on the tennis court.
First
Dubbed
of all,
the
the voice you're doing right now.
Thank you.
It's wonderful.
I wrote it, too.
Yeah. Audiobook quality.
Dubbed the Battle of the Sexes, the match pitted Billie Jean King, the 29-year-old champion of that summer's Wimbledon, and a crusader for the women's liberation movement, against Bobby Riggs, the 55-year-old gambler, hustler, and long-ago tennis champ who had willingly become America's bespackled caricature of male chauvinism. Good writing.
Yeah, that
That
is
was
good. Was that you?
No.
Oh, I was like, damn.
Ben's been tickling the keys all morning. Just
That was
toiling away.
amazing. So
the-
he's 55. How old is she?
She's 29, and she's
In her
number two.
prime.
She's number 2 in the world. Yeah.
She's killing it. She just won Wimbledon. He's out there just being like, women stink. Men rule.
He is leaning into the villain character
He
throughout.
loves
Okay.
it. He's the heel. If this is a world,
Well, if he's a gambler and all that shit, do you think he was getting paid to do all this?
So that's the question.
Probably.
The question is whether he had gambling debts to the mob, and so Billie Jean King.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're shocked.
This is a good topic, Ben, for once.
I'm going to say something. Ben's hosting and I'm enjoying it. I don't know how this is happening right
That's
now.
the real mystery. I'm like,
This is
what?
crazy.
I'm just so surprised you're able to enjoy anything when there's a baby formula shortage.
Oh, okay. Nice. Nice.
How selfish.
I didn't know
of
you hate babies. Jesus.
So this was a really big deal, this match, and part of it was that it was the media frenzy leading up to it.
Right.
The thing to know is that Bobby Riggs beat the number 1 ranked player in the world, Margaret
Court.
Yeah.
Maggie
Okay.
Court, as I called her.
And a little bit earlier, and won by a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. But Margaret Court was a very like the very epitome of like femininity.
Yes.
A woman's woman.
Yeah, but
was
if she's number one, she's number one. She beat this Billie Jean King character, so she's better than Billie Jean King.
But I think Max is saying in terms of like. But I think Max is saying in terms of. By the way, Margaret Court has the most Grand Slams ever. That's who
Right,
Serena
right.
Williams is chasing.
Yeah. She's
And has won away. So Margaret Court, very conservative. It was billed differently as opposed to Billie Jean King, who was already part of the feminist movement.
I see, yeah.
Margaret Court likes curtsying, you know what I mean? Tennis
Right,
whites.
right,
God
right.
bless. Billie Jean King will eat you out backstage.
Yeah, but she still beat Billie Jean King, right? If they matched off together.
Yeah, Court was
Court
one.
won.
Court was one. Billie Jean King won Wimbledon. I think they were both like amazing.
Probably
Yeah.
just kind of go
Yeah.
up and down, you know?
Wow.
Jesus.
Well, all I'm
She
saying,
hears one of the women were more feminine. She goes, "That's the winner."
well, I'm just saying it's odd that he would lose to Billie Jean King when this other woman beat Billie Jean King.
So that's what's surprising.
That's actually a good point. I didn't
Also,
Yeah.
and also, not only that, but like I get that like you're better matched up against certain players than other players, but
Right.
Riggs beat Margaret Court like decisively.
Right.
Straight sets. I think it was like 6-2, 6-3.
Kind of like what we were
talking.
talking about before, the guy who beat the Williams sisters like 6-1 or something like that. Like it wasn't a close match.
Yeah, so we're talking about
Unfortunately.
how Serena Williams and Venus Williams played this May just informed me before we recorded that they played a 200 ranked player or something like that, male player, and they lost, again, like pretty easily
Yeah.
for the guy.
Right.
That wasn't in the Will Smith movie.
No, it wasn't. You'd think it would be.
I didn't make it in the film.
I think that movie ends before any of that
it
would
does,
happen.
yeah.
Yeah.
It ends
The
like
sequel where
the sequel. They lose in this match.
yeah, and Will Smith will definitely be offered the role as he is
no.
now Hollywood's star.
The father is very much still alive, but they're going to kill him off in the sequel. Let me tell you that.
Well,
I love that movie too.
It was a really, really
He
good
deserved
movie.
that Oscar and he ruined it.
I know, yeah.
Why are we talking about it still? It's been way too long.
It's
Yeah, we're still on that.
it's dated.
It
We're on
was-
to Amber Turd now.
Did you coin that? That's great.
No, that's
Other
a
people are calling
hashtag.
it. Okay.
I
You haven't
wish.
put that together?
I did not put it together. I'll be honest with you.
Because turds poop.
And she pooped the bed?
Rhymes with the last
Allegedly.
name.
That's why I find it funny, because I get it. I do get it. The Margaret Court match was 6-2, 6-1, and it was called the Mother's Day Massacre. I guess it was on
Oh
Mother's
my
Oh
God.
gosh. On Mother's Day?
I guess so.
That's absurd.
But that's how they're
What
building
if
this
this
stuff.
was also part of it? What if they were all in it?
So the conspiracy is that Riggs owed money to the mob and organized both matches, destroyed Margaret Court in
On
order
purpose.
to make the odds really big for him to win against Billie Jean King.
Oh.
Then mob bets on Billie Jean King.
Right. Which is
And
brilliant.
because he throws the match.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
But
I mean,
now-
let's be honest. This guy threw the match. I mean, right?
Oh, come on.
Don't you think?
I don't know. Billie Jean. BJK. Come on.
I do
Stop.
understand that this was like a big deal moment. It was during the feminist movement. It actually is the same year as Roe v. Wade. And like the,
interesting.
a lot of different things, Title IX,
And they
whatever.
actually played this on the Supreme Court. That's why it's actually such an important match. If you're a tennis fan, that was a really good joke. Thank you. For the folks at home.
Court.
Yeah. No, do you get it? Thank you.
I think puns take me a bit.
Yeah.
I think that's what we're learning. Just a little bit about
Oh,
Riggs.
turd. Okay.
After Riggs's tennis career ended, he continued to play against seniors and amateurs. Riggs was big during the 40s, a while before this match
You're
took
right.
place.
And then he was a gimmick guy.
Yeah, he kind of came back to stay relevant, it seems like. And as you saw in the movie, he's playing it up. He's,
Right,
he's
Right.
saying women belong in the kitchen and all this,
Yeah. he's using
stuff.
like a
It's-
big
it's like-
racket.
When Conor McGregor fights someone else and they do these stupid like machismo things against each
Of
other.
course, this
Yeah.
is also around the same time that Muhammad Ali is doing that. Muhammad Ali's kind of the first guy to really start that, where he's
Right.
going on all these talk shows and he's like, I'm going to beat it, even making rhymes and
Right.
stuff like that.
That's fun.
Oh, it's great.
It's
You gotta
entertainment,
build
you
up the
know.
story. Everybody
Gotta-
wants somebody to root for and against.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the whole point of sports.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Manny Pacquiao versus what's his name? Mayflower fight? Mayweather?
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah,
Right.
Mayweather. I remember in the beginning of that day, I was like, oh, I don't really care about this thing. I don't care about watching it. And then we found out that Floyd Mayweather beat up all his girlfriends. And me and Tegan found some like rooftop to watch it on. And we were like, kill him! Kill him!
Didn't he win that?
No, he did. He
Yeah.
did win that, yeah.
That's a shame.
But Pacquiao seems like a nice guy. So we were fully in his corner after declaring earlier in that day that we didn't know who these people were
Good.
and didn't care at all.
Good. Is that on
So-
your little list? The story of May watching that boxing match?
So
thanks
he
for
has this. No, he has. What was that? He has this history of gambling, pretty much throughout his life, even when he was in his prime and all that stuff. Betting on contests he couldn't control, like horse racing and pro and college football, but also on tennis matches. Bets on himself plenty of times.
That can't be illegal.
It was the 40s and the 50s. I don't know.
There's not even laws then.
I don't. Yeah. So here's the thing that was revealed. This article's from 2013, so years after it happened.
Before the movie even.
Oh, yeah. Hal peering through a diamond-shaped window. Hall peering? I copied that wrong. But anyway, there's this guy named Shaw, a 39-year-old assistant golf pro, watch four sharply dressed men stroll into the pro shop. This is in Tampa, I believe. And
Nothing
in
good
the
happens in Tampa, I'll tell you that.
Strippers and gun stores in one
Sounds
strip
nice.
mall.
So
Continue.
a bunch of these sort of mysterious men come in,
Right.
and this guy Shaw, the assistant golf pro, he instantly recognized three of them: Frank Regano, a Palma Say member, I guess that was the name of the club, and mob attorney whose wife took golf lessons from Shaw, and two others he knew from newspaper photographs: Santo Traficante Jr., the Florida mob boss, whom Regano represented, and Carlos Marcello, the head of the New Orleans mob.
Oh, that's fun.
It's like you wanted to butcher every single Italian name you just named.
What's weird is that
Marcello.
that was offensive.
What's weird is that it actually is Smith and Jones, and I just pronounced it.
You were like, yeah. Stevie Fettuccine was, and his, the Linguini boys were coming to book him.
Carmela Soprano.
Here's fun. Here's another fun thing. Trafficante and Marcello, now deceased, were among the most infamous mafia leaders in America. Marcello would later confide to an FBI informant that he had ordered the assassination of John F. Kennedy. A fourth man, whom Shaw says he didn't recognize, joined them.
Boy, our episodes just kind of bend in on each other, huh?
Right. Can I also say it's probably Marcello? Thank you.
Way to keep up the good work.
That's fascinating, though. Leads into our other episode, too, about the JFK.
Everything comes together.
Everything. We weave a tapestry of mystery.
That's what it is.
And we are at the helm of the ship on the ocean of intrigue.
Absolutely.
What I say to you is
what
that
you
was
said.
very good. It was molto bene.
Beautiful.
Bellissimo.
All right. The men Shaw...
When the moon hits your eye, that's amore.
Okay.
So the men Shaw said... That's enough. The men Shaw says used an array of nicknames for Riggs, Bobby Riggs, the tennis player, Riggsy, BB, Bobby Bolita. Right.
That's ridiculous.
Regano told the men that Riggsy was prepared to, quote, set up 2 matches against the 2 best women players in the world, Shaw says. He mentioned Margaret Court, and it's easy for me to remember that because of one of my aunt's names was Margaret, so that, wasn't hard to remember, and the second lady was Billie Jean King.
Okay, that's
Wow.
interesting.
So that's where we're getting a lot of this. There were rumors that it was rigged right after, from the very beginning.
I mean, his name is Riggs.
Exactly.
What are we doing?
Maybe that's where it comes from, rigged.
Yeah.
Is that where it comes from?
Is that where it comes from? Ben?
No, it can't
okay.
be. I'm kind of interested in what
That
the
would be
origin
interesting,
is.
though.
Yeah. But that's basically this guy is our main guy.
And it's
in terms of-
probably illegal socially to say that it was rigged at the time.
So we
Right,
should,
yeah.
so we should say that. I think it's probably more legal now. So what we're doing is probably even more.
Can I ask?
Right.
There were no mobsters in the feature film.
No, this is avoided in the mainstream story, and the mainstream story, as in the movie,
This is
might be
something-
correct.
You're saying
Mainstream
this is
story is
something.
a crock
This
shit.
is something that the lamestream media won't cover.
Yes.
It was really just sort of this, big played out thing, and it's still incredibly famous. And I hope that it was legit. I hope that this stuff is not true.
You know what's ironic is they might actually flip on her nowadays and be like, it was rigged to prove that men are better at sports.
Wait, how?
How you mean?
How
I
you
think I
mean
just
though? 'Cause-
confused myself.
Yeah, because she won allegedly. So that would mean that she's better at sports.
You're right.
Yeah.
She's better at sports.
Although she was ranked number 2 and he was like 1,000th or something.
Well, he wasn't even.
rigged.
He was
He
on the
wasn't
senior
even-
tour.
The man looks like the master
so
of disguise.
this is how.
Oh my God, he looks like somebody from Austin. He looks like Austin Powers, not somebody from Austin Powers.
So we're
Can
showing.
I tell you, I like him. That's fun.
We're showing a photo of Bobby Riggs as he entered the arena. They entered like boxers. You saw the photo earlier, Billie Jean
Iconic
King on
haircut.
like a throne, like Cleopatra or whatever. And and here's Bobby Riggs coming in with, I think, Sugar Daddy, I think, is a company. So I
That's
think
him.
it's
Yeah, he
just
got
another
sponsored.
pun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fun.
Let me tell you something. If I could go back in time and see one event, it's this.
In
I
person.
want to go in person.
Of all sporting
Yeah.
events, this is up there. This is like a big, big deal.
It's big.
Which is
Yeah.
why I say that what we're doing now is not going to be liked by a lot of people. Which
Why,
is
why won't people like it?
because
Us specifically or the world?
the world.
Oh, okay.
We're questioning the triumphant story of the woman winning the Battle of the Sexes. That is why this is a controversial.
What was the final score?
She won in straight sets.
Wait, sorry, he didn't get 1 point.
Oh no, he gets points, but he
okay.
didn't win a game. He didn't win a set.
Like a mat.
He wins a few games, but he didn't win a set.
Boy.
Game in tennis is not.
It's like
game.
round.
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that is not believable at all.
so,
Can I say that?
yeah, there's
You gotta make it look a little more believable, my guy.
Riggs was
Don't you
well known for a nearly flawless service game, but he missed on nearly half of his first serves. 4 times he double faulted, all on critical points. The level of play hardly lived up to all the hype and the anticipation. King was grinding down the old man who was the same age as her father. Funny with this match, I guess we all expected some high humor involved in it, Cosell said, Howard Cosell, the famous announcer. Instead, it's become a very serious thing because the comedy has gone out of Bobby Riggs.
On court that day, he wasn't playing ball, huh?
Yeah, and then King said, when it was over, fans stormed the court and engulfed King, and Riggs hugged her. You could just see he wanted it so badly and couldn't get it going, she says. I think he got so nervous it exhausted him. He just choked, she says.
She called him impotent.
We've all done it. I've choked. Everybody chokes. So she wasn't trying to be like that mean about it, but
That's a classy response.
That's
However, I'm like, girl, aren't you suspicious? Aren't you a little suspicious?
No, she believed in herself. It's a great
Well.
sports story. If Rudy could do whatever the fuck he did in that film, she could win.
Right.
Who the fuck is Rudy?
Samwise Gamgee playing football? Isn't that what it is?
Well, I always thought of it as Rudy hunting for a ring.
Two sides of the same coin, my guy.
It's a movie, like an inspirational sports movie about a little guy who
A hobbit that plays football.
plays football at Notre Dame. This is kind of a nice ending to the story. The day before Riggs died in October 1995, King called him at home. Over the years, the two adversaries had become good friends.
Oh, that's
That's
nice.
actually very sweet.
I
really
love
like
you,
that.
King told him. I love you, Riggs said. Then Billie Jean King told the happy hustler how important their match's result will always be to all women. Well, we did it, Bobby Riggs finally told her. We really made a difference, didn't we?
Oh.
Well, 'cause they rigged it together.
Well,
Oh, yeah. I guess we were both counting checks after that, huh?
Her checks better go to fucking Planned Parenthood.
Yeah.
I actually don't think it was rigged.
You don't think it was rigged?
No, he was
just
an
think he
older
had a
guy.
bad day?
I think that if Billie Jean King played a high-ranking male tennis player, that
Here's
the male
something.
tennis player would win.
If we go to the choke, maybe Margaret Court choked as well.
Maybe Margaret Court. Yeah, you never.
She was the more ladylike one. Maybe she was like trying to be polite on the court.
Can I tell you that last little exchange you just read between them? Sexual.
Billie Jean
Tension.
King, I don't believe
Famously
was
a
into
lesbian.
the gentleman.
She's a gay
Maybe
icon.
she made an exception. Well, he looks. I mean, he's.
If that's your
He's
one
androgynous.
exception, it's that guy.
Then she's straight as hell. Let me tell you that.
He looks familiar to me. I know this
He
person.
looks like Vector from Despicable Me 2.
He does.
Right? He's going to see.
I love this Despicable Me franchise. Can I
It's
say
a
that?
wonderful film franchise.
So good.
And thank you to Max Mawachanine for bringing more attention to this
Yes.
film.
That's a great joke. I don't think I've seen any of them.
Oh, you're
Oh,
missing
you're
out.
missing out.
But also Steve Carell. He has come up
the guy's a
a
star.
couple times. Yeah.
Oh man, he's funny.
The second thing,
Hot take.
I'll say something. He's good at it.
this one I'm going to do second because I have the least on it.
Good.
Another one that, I mean, it's typical sports stuff. Like this is, people who, I don't think it's people who listen to this podcast, but anyone from the New
Who
England.
do you think listens to this podcast?
Well, I don't know. It might be people who like sports. I really
It
don't.
could be. Very well
I
could
do
be.
think, well, actually, I'll say this. I do think that we have some New England listeners.
Okay.
And
A
they
couple
won't.
Cape Codders rooting for Mae Planert.
They won't love Deflategate.
Oh.
So we are looking at a Daily News.
My balls are perfect.
We are
Ah,
looking-
that's funny.
crass.
Daily News. Daily News, everyone. So this is a Daily News headline that says, "My balls are perfect" with Tom Brady's face on it when he's denying the Deflategate allegations, which I'll describe in a second. Daily News, not as good as New York Post, but they have a headline or two.
Yeah, they're
tell you
good.
something. Can I say something else?
Yeah.
You've gotten really good at explaining what's on screen. You've really taken that upon yourself. I'm very impressed.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's good. It
I've
doesn't
made
go
a
on us.
real-
I know because May won't compliment you on that, but I noticed it. I noticed it. You're making up finally, pulling your weight. Jesus.
So I'll briefly describe Deflategate. Basically, Deflategate suggested that the New England Patriots used an illegal process for lowering the inflation of game footballs at the behest of quarterback Tom Brady, who preferred the grip of softer balls. I don't know if that's like a general thing, but
Yeah,
he
maybe.
wants it
Well, I could.
guess-
Well,
easier to throw.
the
I don't
story
know.
was
I don't
way
know.
too sexual from the start. It's all thinly homo.
erotic.
Or also homophobic.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
a little bit of both.
A little bit of
Yeah.
both.
They often go together.
Isn't that every day? You know what I mean? But
You-
I will say, doesn't that help both teams though? That's what I always wondered.
Well, if you're on offense, they're changing the balls often. I think that
They were only giving Tom the softballs.
it would be Tom the softballs. Yeah,
and everybody else gets hard balls, like overinflated,
I don't know, overinflated.
Just regular amount of inflation.
just regular balls.
I will say though, like if you're thinking about throwing something, like I would rather have it be hard than like squishy. Then it seems like it couldn't go as far.
For sure. Yeah.
And
I
if
don't
he's
know.
used to throwing it hard, then how it obviously is very precise ball throwing.
We get it. You're from Boston. Jesus.
But I have no allegiance to Tom Brady. I'm a Jets fan who's one of the rivals of the Patriots. Not really rivals because the Patriots don't care about us because they always beat us.
Jets
but
are
we
haters.
think of them
Yeah.
as rivals. And
They don't think about you at all.
No, they don't think about it at all. But I kind of think that this is an example of like trying to cancel Tom Brady.
Yeah.
The guy is like the top quarterback of all time, and people want to see him
handsome, tonguing down his kids.
Yeah, let's talk about him tongue fucking his children. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe we cancel him.
Maybe you're part of the same thing. You're just trying to bring down a good man who has everything.
Who makes out with his children.
He does seem like such a bummer. Can I say
Yeah,
that?
he does not seem like a good
he's
hang.
a robot. He's a robot, but he's by far the best quarterback that's ever played.
How many laughs do you think him and Giselle have had over their
They've
the
never
duration
had
of their
a chortle.
Never.
They've never had a chortle.
I actually think that it would be
Ever.
more disturbing if they do laugh at stuff, because the stuff they must laugh at must be so lame.
They're watching The
so
Purge.
weird.
They're wa-
Yeah. That's us and our friends.
I thought it was more just like watching young Sheldon and being like, oh,
No, this is
Oh,
this
God.
is
That little boy is very smart.
This is what people
I'd love to
laugh
kiss
at?
him on the mouth.
That's great.
The NFL thought that it found proof during a surprise and unprecedented inflation check at halftime of the 2014 AFC Championship game, a 45-7 drubbing. Didn't know that was a word,
Drubbing?
of the Indianapolis Colts. That was another thing about this. They like do a check when the Patriots are up 45-7. It was already the game was
Right.
over.
Yeah.
They have those balls.
It then spent upward of $22 million over the course of 2
Oh my
years
God.
to investigate, litigate, and discipline Brady and the organization.
Oh my God.
so
That's insane.
they're going after the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that there was a reason for this outside of everybody hates him?
I think it's a story. I think it's a story.
Yeah.
Armstrong, Tiger
I will
Woods.
say
Not that those guys. I mean, those guys.
People
really did.
love a fall down.
Yes.
They
love if
do.
they,
But
they
that's
love
my-
pushing to the top and then just fucking yanking.
Yeah,
the rug
oh,
out from
yeah.
under. They love that, and then they like
Farther
to see
you
it come
fall,
back.
the best, the better story it is.
Yeah,
Too.
Tiger
People are
Woods.
sick.
Like people love pushing you to the top, fucking blowing smoke up your ass.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually happened to like Jack Harlow is a rapper right now.
Mm.
They like built him up on TikTok, and now it's become after he just released his album. Now it's cool to make fun of him.
Oh,
So
great.
just people just turn on you.
Oh,
They're like,
it's
he's
awful.
the greatest. He's the greatest. And they're like, fuck his mother.
It's so bad. Well, also, Tom Brady famously was with Bridget Moynihan, I think, and she was pregnant with his child, and he left her for Giselle. So I've never liked him personally.
Wow.
Bridget Moynihan, can we pull her up? I don't remember. Who
Yeah,
that
let's
is.
go ahead and pop her up. I think she's an actress as well. But yeah,
Is
I
she
mean,
the
isn't
one
that
from
fun? I
Mission
think
Impossible?
men that cheat on their wives when they're pregnant should go to jail.
They should go to jail.
Go to jail.
There was a
Wow.
politician.
I mean, that's
that was, like,
sociopathic.
what was John
That's insane.
Edwards
John Edwards. Yeah,
cheated on his sick wife. I don't know if she was pregnant.
she was sick.
Yeah.
Right, she had cancer.
You can't do
Yeah.
that.
No, you can't do that.
Put it away. Can you stop fucking for a minute?
Yeah.
Jesus.
At least have the decency to be secretive enough about it.
What are you
know?
doing?
Sorry, I almost. For those of you listening at home, I almost knocked over the mic.
There she is.
Bridget, can you describe Bridget Moynihan for everybody?
Bridget Moynihan kind of looks like him a little bit.
Yeah, she does. Like a
bit.
brunette, like a darker brunette
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
No, I think that Brady, a guy who, it's a parody of a guy who has it all. I mean, he's
Right.
married to a
Yeah.
supermodel. He's got 7 Super Bowls. He's
Right.
very handsome.
Right.
Right.
So I think that's prime material to try to bring down.
Do you think if he was an uggo that people wouldn't bring him down?
No one's tried to bring down
100%.
Peyton Manning, and he's not a
Yeah, Jesus Christ, yeah. He already got beat with an ugly stick years ago. He can't take another L.
The other thing is that Bill Belichick, the coach of the Patriots, who won all those championships with Brady, is like notoriously he acts like a villain.
Yeah,
He
he
behaves like a
does.
supervillain. That's
He's
that's
insane.
his fault.
And there was a thing called Spygate. They just put gate at the end of everything.
I love that.
where the Patriots also cheated-ish. So
Right.
that
They
added.
were like reading people's lips or something.
They were filming behind people when they hold up those cards, right?
yeah, it was again pretty sexual. It had nothing to do with football.
They were poking holes in the locker room and in the showers.
It was like one of those technically illegal things, but sort of, it had to do with spying on the other team, which you can film the other team, but they were doing it in like a certain place that you can't film it. I don't know
Right,
the
right,
exact
right.
details.
You can't live in the gray like that when you're at the top.
No, it's true. Also, fun fact about Bill Belichick, I knew a girl who lived in the same neighborhood. Her dad lived in the same neighborhood as him, and he went over there for like cocktails or whatever, and the whole place was empty, and it just had a couch in front of a TV. There was no furniture at all.
His house?
His house, yeah.
That's
Bill
disturbing.
It was like this huge fucking mansion and a golf course with like
That's
just a couch
how
and a TV.
supervillain. That's how a Bond villain lives. One marble
I
bench.
hope he had a bed somewhere too, but who fucking knows?
Well, they nicknamed him the Monk. If you've ever seen him on the sidelines, he
stupid
was the
little
first
sweatshirt.
guy to wear the sweatshirt, and he
Yeah.
has the hood over when the weather's bad. And
Yeah.
and to the press, he is just like so mean. They're just like the most innocent questions that they ask of him, where he's like, well, what'd you think of Brady's performance today? He's like, what'd you think?
Oh.
It's like, okay.
Oh, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Also, before we get off the Patriots, Robert Kraft caught diddling. Well, not diddling,
no,
actually. That's not true. He was getting...
Little masturbation.
He was getting a little jerk off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they tried to bring
God
down
forbid.
the Patriots.
Every story with the Patriots is a sex crime.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God
You know what's
forbid
not
you
a
go
sex
and get
crime?
yours.
6 fucking Super Bowls. All right, I'm not going to spend too much time on Deflategate because the main articles I read basically said that it was kind of going after him. Maybe there was a little bit of smoke there, but a lot of it is just trying to bring down a legend like Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
The last one that we're going to talk about, if there's someone who's an even bigger legend than Tom Brady,
Wow.
Michael Jordan.
Wow.
What?
I
I didn't know there was any.
Jordan.
Nothing
Look at
about
him.
nothing about cheating, but Michael Jordan famously retired in 1993.
Scottie Pippen was cool. Sorry, he's on screen right now. He's a cool guy.
He was cool. Pretty hot, too.
Scottie Pippen
Yeah.
fucked for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The whole Bulls team.
Oh, did he? 1992. that
They
he-
fucked.
How
Sorry.
about them Bulls?
So, if anyone watched The Last Dance, they're familiar with the general story, the documentary on Michael Jordan. In 1992, sorry, I said 93 before, but in 1992, Jordan retired for what ended up being the first time, because he does come back. And it was after they had won 3 consecutive championships. So he is literally at the top of the world. He's not old. He's still very much in his prime. Proof of that is that he eventually comes back and wins 3 more championships. That's
cool.
So he's got plenty left in the tank. Okay, so this was an article written by Marcel Smith from Bleacher Report. And this one talks about the conspiracy, and then I'm going to read a brief thing saying why maybe there was no actual controversy there.
I love it.
So, why would...
He did. No, she's turning toward the screen like there's something to look for.
Why would the face of the league on the best team in the league, who is known for his enormous competitive drive and his desire to be the best ever, suddenly retire in the middle of his prime? Let's look at the facts. In 1992, after winning his second championship, Jordan was called to testify in the criminal trial of James Bowler to explain why Bowler, a convicted drug dealer, was in possession of a Jordan-signed personal check for $57,000.
What?
Yeesh.
First, Jordan claimed it was a business loan, but under oath, he admitted that it was a payment for gambling losses for a single weekend. And Michael Jordan is famously a
Loves
gambler.
gambling.
Yeah. Then, in early 1993, San Diego businessman Richard Aquinas revealed in his book, Michael and Me, Our Gambling Addiction. It sounds like a children's book.
love
My
that.
Cry for Help. Oh, well, not that part. That he had won over $900,000 from Jordan in golf betting.
Whoa.
Around the same time,
Golf betting.
MJ was spotted in an Atlantic City casino, where you can see us this
Oh,
weekend.
yeah.
That's true, yeah.
Claridge Hotel.
Anyway, and that's the end of the story. I just wanted to, yeah. Sorry. An Atlantic casino in the early hours on the morning of Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals. After the Bulls won their 3rd championship, the NBA launched an investigation into Jordan's gambling problems to check whether he had violated any league rules.
Wow.
Then, 4 months later, Jordan stunned the world by suddenly retiring from professional basketball.
To throw him off the scent, maybe, huh?
Even more devious,
Wow. okay.
possibly. And
Go
again,
ahead.
it was 93, so I said it
Right.
wrong twice. Okay.
Great.
Great stuff, Ben.
My bad. At the press conference, and that was the photo we had up for a second ago, was the press conference where Jordan announced his retirement. And he's there with the owner, he's there with his coach, Phil Jackson,
Yep.
and the GM. who-
Scotty's there, too.
Scotty is
and
there.
Scotty's there in the background with the sunglasses.
Very cool sunglasses.
And then there's
He looks cool.
a guy in a weird sweater that kind of looks like that actor Michael Sheen.
Yeah, he
Oh, he
does.
does
Yeah.
look like Michael Sheen. Why was Michael Sheen there?
That's the mystery. At the press conference, when he was asked if he would ever return, he said, 5 years down the road, if the urge comes back, if the Bulls will have me, if David Stern, that was the commissioner of basketball,
Right.
if David Stern lets me back in the league, I may come back. Now, why in the world would Jordan ever say if David Stern lets him back, then maybe he would come back when the reporter didn't mention Stern's name at all in the question? Only days after Jordan announced his retirement, the league dropped its investigation, saying he did nothing wrong. I guess betting numerous amounts on sports isn't wrong then, the author talking.
Oh, caddy.
Yeah, no, this guy was, yeah.
I mean, yeah, why would it be wrong as long as he's not betting on basketball? Who gives a shit?
I guess he's just pointing out that the timing was a little weird.
Yeah, sure. But also $900,000 to Michael Jordan at that time, that's like us betting $10 to each
Yeah,
other.
but that's to one guy.
Yeah, that's true. You're right.
Right.
For golf, but probably like was that them playing golf with each other, like on each hole, or was that like on professional golf that they were betting?
I imagine Jordan. From the stories that I've heard, Jordan plays actual golf, and he's probably
And they were
quite
just betting
good.
$100K a hole.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That's too much.
That's fun, though.
That is
Can we
fun.
say
That's
fun?
high stakes, bro.
Yeah.
That's sexy, too.
Yeah.
I like a risk taker like that. You know?
You want somebody with a problem.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Actually, I don't know. Gambling addiction?
Just
Nah.
a golfer.
Yeah.
Somebody who just fucking golfs. Knows when to bet it all.
Was there a secret agreement between Jordan and Stern where Stern told him to simply retire and create a distraction so that he wouldn't face a suspension and have his huge marketable name stay clean?
Correct, yeah.
The distraction occurred when Jordan then decided to play minor league baseball in the White Sox organization, even though he would have had trouble hitting a beach ball, yet alone a baseball. That's not fair. He wasn't so
Caddy.
bad.
I'm sure he was not that bad. I mean, the guy's a fucking athlete.
Yeah, in 102 games with the Barons, that was the minor league team for the White Sox, Jordan had a 202 average along with 3 homers, 51 RBI, 30 stolen bases, 114 strikeouts.
That's not bad.
The stat, they're bad, but it's like
What do you mean?
he's a professional.
Stepped into a new sport.
Yeah, he stepped into a new sport. Which
That is insane. Just be like, I'm going to take a break from professional basketball, and I'm just going to really quickly be a professional baseball player.
Yeah, I think what I don't really believe that he. I mean, I think that he just retired.
Didn't it allegedly have something to do with his
Really?
dad too? 'Cause
Yes,
didn't
so his
die
dad
around the same
died
time?
tragically shortly before he retired, and
Yeah.
his dad always wanted him to be a baseball player.
Really?
So that holds up.
That's
too.
interesting.
Because
And-
he played both when he was growing
And there was
up.
no foul
Yeah.
play in his father's death, right?
Oh,
No,
there
he
might
was
have been.
murdered.
He was
Oh,
murdered.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
that actually is.
He was murdered. I'm almost... I don't know too much about it, but he definitely got murdered on like the side of the road or
Side of
something.
the road. It
Unsolved,
was a
too,
few
huh?
days. Yeah,
Yeah, it's unsolved,
Do we
which
think
is
it could have had anything
crazy.
to do with this?
Well, no, it might have had to do with it just in terms of him being so depressed,
Right.
and
Yeah.
fulfilling his father's wishes.
It wasn't like a debt thing.
I don't. There were
It-
stories involving Jordan, and that is covered in the documentary, but I don't believe. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. I don't believe that it's the retirement issue.
Nothing has been substantiated about them going after his father because of gambling debts, though, but that has been speculated,
That has been said. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a natural
right?
question. to
No,
ask.
no,
Yeah.
wait. Yeah, sorry. So what
Yeah.
you said definitely has been said. I just meant that I don't think that there's a direct link between the father dying and him. This conspiracy of him retiring.
All day, today, you've been very good at just towing the line.
I've-
You're not taking a side. You're impartial.
I don't wanna
really
say
like
something
it. Yeah,
wrong.
let me tell you something.
All right. So
I'm canceled.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
well, yeah,
yeah.
Jesus. It's like you see the right opinion and you go,
Yeah.
you
Billie
know
Jean
it's the
King
right
is
one.
a fraud.
In the much respected book Money, Players, Days, and Nights Inside the New NBA by Armin Katayan, it states that in 1993, the league had an interview with Richard Aquinas during their investigation on Jordan's gambling. He said that in March of 1992, he overheard a telephone conversation Jordan was having with an unknown person. During the conversation, he heard Jordan talking about a betting line. So you say the line is 7 points. The game MJ was talking about isn't known, but the accusations are extremely serious, as that means if Jordan was indeed betting on sports, he was breaking a sacred, unwritten rule for all professional athletes, as that it is against the integrity of the game. I assume also
So
actually
basketball.
illegal.
Right, because then you could just call your friend and be like, "Yo, Scottie Pippen, want to just not win this game for me?"
Sure,
Didn't
yeah,
they
no,
famously-
throwing games a la Riggs
Yeah.
is definitely illegal.
What about
yeah.
the White Sox? Didn't they have a thing where they threw a game?
Yeah, in 1919 or something like
Yeah,
that.
a long time ago.
And that really happened. They
Yeah.
threw the World Series.
And they
They
got
were
in
the best
trouble?
team. Oh yeah, they had to. It's like unofficially, they're not like. Yeah, it's like in Cooperstown, like the story of it.
it's in their permanent record.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a movie.
oh, yeah.
There's a movie about it that's pretty good with John
Rosie
Cusack.
O'Donnell.
No,
That's
that's A League of Their Own, which is really good. That movie's
That's
really
a great
good.
movie. All the
never
Way
seen it.
May. That was my nickname in high school. Well,
Boo! That's funny.
no, it wasn't. Those kids weren't that clever. I made it up for myself.
I
Kids were so stupid you had to bully yourself.
she went into the hallways and she was like, "Gee whiz, I keep fucking everyone. Guess I'm all the way May."
Someone's like, "Oh, May's a slut." I'm like, "Okay, no, I'm not. I'm all the way May. Come on."
Come on. It's right there.
All right, so here are a few. I won't get into too much of the other stuff. I just want to make a few of the counter arguments why Jordan just retired, not in a controversial way. Keep on breathing heavy.
You nervous?
I don't think I'm nervous. I think
You're
it's just
sweating
so hot.
profusely.
I'm sweating.
It's not hot in here at all. It's not even a little bit warm.
All right. For those of you watching at home,
He's having a
for those
panic
of you
attack
listening-
live on screen.
All right, so a few arguments for Jordan just retiring. First, the intensely competitive Jordan offered a number of plausible rationales for why he wished to retire. He felt drained and didn't see there was as much else to prove. I mean, he won 3 championships.
I get that.
Jordan's father had also recently been murdered, which no doubt took a toll on Jordan. Sometimes what people say is what they feel. Well, again, these are very personally written articles. This one's from Sports Illustrated.
I mean, obviously, his dad getting murdered is going to affect him.
Yeah, and especially like unsolved murdered is like a real tough one to get through.
I looked it up actually. I think there was 2 kids that got arrested at 18 that were convicted of killing him and moving his body.
Oh. What was the reason, Irish?
I think it said it was a random robbery.
What?
And do you have any idea around when they found them? Was it unsolved for a while?
It was. They found his body 11 days after Jordan won his 3rd championship.
But I'm saying, did they find the people who did it after?
Yes, I think so. They're both in jail right now. They got like life sentences with like an additional 10 years each or something like
Holy
that.
shit!
How do they do the additional 10? How does that happen?
Maybe it's like if it's especially heinous, but it's in a city that they don't allow the death penalty.
No,
or
but
something.
I'm saying like, why even say it if you got the life sentence?
Just to make sure if there's any way that they can go out for parole, it's like no, you still have an extra 10 years.
I thought it was like if you come back from the dead. If your heart stops and you come back, you have to.
Oftentimes people get like 3 life sentences.
Yeah.
So the idea is that you would have to get paroled, you'd have to beat all 3 of those unique
The
life
idea
sentences.
is, God forbid, a vampire breaks in and bites you.
Right. Yeah.
Now you're eternal. You got 3 life sentences.
Oh yeah.
I think that was the original court. That could have been when these laws were made.
Literally.
Yeah. Okay, a couple other things. The NBA could have warned, fined, or suspended Jordan for conduct detrimental to the league. There was no need for a secret pact for Jordan to step aside. So that argument, this author is saying that argument also doesn't really hold weight. The league could have reached the same outcome without inviting the attention of conspiracy theorists. 6th, this guy listed like a million things, so his 6th reason, the NBA doesn't operate through cloak and dagger compacts or by the way of winks and nods. From Stern to Adam Silver, who's the current commissioner, along with their top advisors, the league is run mainly by a group of highly skilled attorneys. If nothing else, attorneys tend to care deeply about process, procedure, and consistency. An unprecedented informal arrangement, particularly between the 2 most important people in the NBA at the time, Jordan and Stern, the commissioner, would have sharply bellied how attorneys normally operate. So they're just saying it's just not how things would have worked.
Interesting.
Sounds like a cover-up to me, but all right.
Yeah.
I will say all 3 of these things today very neutral. I'm neutral on all the above.
I could see it going
Either
way.
way.
I decided to go with 3 that I guess one of them has to do with the actual sport and like cheating, but the other 2 are more gambling. I don't know. I feel like there's more intrigue.
Battle of the Sexes, I want to believe that BJK actually won. It was a good movie. I'm invested. I love tennis. So
yeah.
I like the idea of it.
I think she won. It's believable that she won. If she were playing McEnroe and beat him in straight sets, I would be more skeptical.
I'm a BJK guy, though.
Well, the only reason I'm skeptical is that he beat that other broad.
Yeah, but it happens.
Margaret.
It happens.
I mean, people like Federer can lose to a bad person if he's not on a good day, you know?
Yeah, all right.
She just dismissed me. She dismissed me.
Also, someone could have, he had a bad day. He choked, in her words.
That's true. So that's a classy way. I love tennis. They're usually very good about being very classy about like, you know what, today was not his day. You know, I happened to be better today. But
right.
Yeah, there are a few exceptions. McEnroe obviously is like the one exception.
Yeah.
And he's great. People love him.
That is fun.
People love a Happy Gilmore type figure.
He's also really funny in I think he's in 30 Rock. Or he's in something else, right?
He's very funny.
Yeah, very funny.
And he got in trouble a few years ago for saying that the 400th ranked player or whatever number he said would beat Serena Williams.
Oh, he did.
So
that kind of happened.
It happened earlier, but he was saying it like recently when Serena was, really in her prime.
Yeah. Ooh, you know what else is awkward? Is that the United States soccer team, women's soccer team that was ranked number 1, lost to a high school boys team in Australia. That was awkward.
That was tough.
Tough. I mean, I don't know.
Michael Jordan, back to him. I don't know.
We're all uncomfortable. So Michael Jordan, anyway. So yeah, I think that, that is interesting. I could see like the mob being involved just because it was, I don't know, isn't Chicago a big mob town? That's kind of fun. Death, threats, murder, manipulation. That's fun.
Is the mob could have done everything. Every single episode is either a mob or aliens. They did
Yeah.
everything's the same.
Have we ever had an episode with both?
Alien Mob.
Alien
That's
Mob. Whoa.
sick.
Yeah.
Boy.
That's a movie.
All right, next week, get ready, strap in. That's who did Malaysia flight, whatever.
Oh, is that what we're doing next week?
I'm gonna try.
Wow.
Oh, really? God bless.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna start the research now.
Yeah,
Love it.
I'll believe that when I see it.
I'm not gonna do anything.
Until an hour before.
I know. But then
Oh.
magic happens, bro.
All right, so let's go through the three real quick.
Yes.
Deflategate,
Okay.
where do we stand?
They did it. They're the villains.
No, they didn't do it. I'm legally obligated to say that.
I agree with you. As impartial, I have no allegiance towards Boston sports. If anything, I'm anti-Boston sports, and I don't think that they really cheated.
I'm on the odd man out.
Michael Jordan.
That I don't believe. I don't believe that was an agreement between them. I think he was going through something.
I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know.
The thing that is weird to me is that famously the most competitive person that has ever lived on this planet
Right.
would ever retire, let alone when he was in his prime. That is
Right.
a little strange to me.
Retiring like so prematurely. Not even just like, oh, does he have another season left? It's like, yo, he has another like however 5. or
Having
whatever.
said that, to counter my own point, it's not like he went to a beach. He went to play a different professional sport. So
he was still in the
I don't know.
eye. He
Yeah.
was making his money.
yeah.
Loves money. Loves success, and he was still getting it.
And BJK.
She won. I mean, that's a fact.
We were had.
All right. Follow us on social media. At
Sure.
Ben Kirschenbaum, at Mae Planert.
Mae_Planert. God, Ben.
Underscore. Maxigazillion,
Okay.
baby.
And see us at Atlanta Comedy Club this Friday,
Yep.
Ben and I, and Saturday, Max a Gazillion.
Yeah.
Whole weekend.
And then
We
Rogue
were
Island.
had. And then Rogue Island right after.
Yeah. That's so fun.
Come out.
Good for us.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.